Hi all, Cynthia here from MB Pretty Papers, up on the Crafty Maven Getaway today with a sketched out Thursday layout. So you would have saw at the beginning the inspiration piece, which called for two 4.5 by 5, no 4 by 5.5 inch photos, whereas both of mine are the full 4 by 6 photos. You'll see here in a minute that I'll just end up laying one on top of the other slightly to give a little bit more space across the page. Also in the inspiration piece, also at the beginning was the inspiration piece, which had a lot of purple tones and creamy white tones, very fall related feel to it. So I've pulled out these papers here from it's from an old Kaiser craft kit that I had, a little it's one of those little paper kits that comes with, I don't know, maybe 10 papers and the sticker sheet, and the kit itself is called Miss Empire. So I've gone through the papers, pulled out 2 or 3 different patterns that I thought I might use. Absolutely love that orangey rose coloured pattern paper. And so I've trimmed them all down into different sizes ranging from 3x4, 3x2, 2x2, 3x1, so sort of a bit of a variety, and now I'm just going to go through and lay them out roughly according to the sketch. The one thing I am trying to take note of is having 3 of each on the page, so 3 of the brown, 3 of the green, 3 of the rose, and so forth, and spreading them out a little bit so they're not side by side. Just go through and tuck all those in. The photos themselves are of, one on the left is of me and our son, and one on the right is of my husband and our son. Was out for lunch one day, and the restaurant itself had a very wood tone, earth tone feel to it, so I want to take a couple of photos and just capture what was happening in the background as well. The one of my husband and our son, he is a little bit blown out. They did have their back to the window, so it was sort of highlighted behind them, but you could still see that wood panelling down the side of them, which I quite liked. Gone through and I have now put all the bits and pieces in the correct order, and I stopped the recording to tape them all down because I didn't think you need to see me use my double-sided tape on all of those. So it's the beginning of the school holidays here, and I've got 2 weeks off work, so yay for me. And my husband has 2 weeks off too, actually. We're hoping that we can go away on our boat for a week or so. At the moment the weather's very windy outside, so we're thinking about leaving tomorrow, so we'll have to see how the wind goes. So I'm trying to get a couple of videos recorded or voiced over and upload it, because when we're away I certainly won't be able to do them. So I've gone through the sticker sheet to see whether there's anything here that I might like to use. I put off a couple that I didn't like, and now I'm thinking about this green one, and I quite like the green one, but I don't want the bit on the top, so I'll trim it down and then I'll cut it in half. So this layout, as you could see, is a very linear layout, lots of straight lines. There's going to be hardly any clustering at all. In fact, there's only one piece that I would say is a cluster. One tiny little piece, because I couldn't help myself, I had to do something. And I deliberately decided to do that because on one of my last videos, a subscriber commented how she is very much a linear scrapper. She has lots of straight lines and is trying to be a little bit more free flowing, whereas my layouts are generally free flowing. I have lots of clusters, lots of height, lots of everything on the page. So I thought, well, why don't I try to challenge myself to a little bit more of a cleaner, simpler page, and I really like the way it's laid out. So thank you very much, Irina, for the idea. So I'm going through my embellishments here because I just have to put something on the page. The sketch itself doesn't call for any clusters, but I just feel like I just need to put something. And pull out these little things. Don't use any of them in the end. I do shuffle it around a little bit. I thought I might have used that little hugs and kisses, I think it says. I thought that really fitted the page, the colours, and also just the fact that it's the family, and that's what you do as a family. But ultimately I only use this little tag here, which says Wild Ride. Now the colour is slightly different colour. I would say it's more of a coral colour as opposed to the orange that's in the paper. But I think that maybe the yellow tones that are there also sort of represent what's in the paper. So I use that. I quite like it. Not a lot more happens to this layout. As I said, I put the embellishment cluster down, the whole one piece, which doesn't go up there. It does come down to the bottom of the left-hand photo, and that's the only cluster that I do. Now, really trying to make sure that I get this word spelt correctly, going backwards. Spelling going forwards, not my strength, let alone going backwards, but nearly got it wrong. And I'm going to glue those down because these are what do you call, chipboard thickers or alphas, so they don't stay glued very well. Just put that down, line them up, make them look nice and straight. Quite like the tone of these alphas. They're sort of a little bit vintagey and sketchy, a little bit like all the background papers and the papers in this collection. So I thought it worked quite well. Going to put that Wild Ride there, and I do realise I have a little bit of a trapped white space that I'm trying to do something with, but ultimately I decide that I'll just leave it and cope with it. As I couldn't find anything to actually fit in there to look quite right. That is it. It really is it. I put this down. I do the little bit of journaling. I just talk about how I love being together as a family, how it really makes my heart happy if we're just doing something together. Doesn't have to be anything in particular. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching if you've got this far. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. Jump on over to the Crafty Maven Getaway channel and see what else is happening over there. There's lots of inspiration. jump over to my YouTube channel, NB Pretty Papers, and see what's happening over there. Try to upload 2 videos a week. A variety of scrapbook pages and art journal pages, project live. There's a bit of a variety happening over there. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, or just because you would like to leave a comment. Always appreciate it. I love reading them and answering them. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Talk to you then. Everyone have an awesome day. Bye.